my brakes. I'm here today with my friend Diana McCauley to visit some beautiful spots in Collingwood that are accessible for everybody to enjoy. So what motivates you to get out there and be active?
Well, the number one for me is I've been in the chair, using a chair for over 30 years, so you know, it's hard on your body. So the number one motivator is to you know, cut down on the pain. And it's just great being outside and, you know, getting into nature. So I don't need a lot of a push to do exercise. It's always been something that I've enjoyed.
So would you be somebody who relies on a friend to get out there, or are you pretty good motivating yourself on your own?
No, I'm pretty good motivating myself. You know, it's fun to go out, you know, with a friend, like when you and I go for our strolls and whatnot. But you know, I'm pretty good with doing it myself as well.
What are your favorites? Your top three, maybe?
My top three, well, I like to get out on my bike because it's good cardio exercise. You know, you can really get going quite fast on the bike, so that's a good one. Pickleball is kind of fun. You know, I've just started playing it and, you know, sort of batting the ball around. We don't really play games, but it gets you outside, and you can do pickleball indoors as well. And just to go for a walk and be in nature is you know, something that I like to do.
So what is pickleball and why should we try it, or me in particular?
Well, it's kind of like tennis. It's the rackets are quite a bit lighter and smaller. You play with a ball that's almost like a wiffle ball. And you use a tennis court. A lot of tennis courts now that you know, you find in the community have drawn on the lines for pickleball, so it's a smaller space. You're not running you know, back and forth as much. It's pretty easy to pick up, and it's kind of something you can play with someone with you know, anyone with a different level of experience. So it's fun, and you know, it's like tennis in a lot of ways, but you get 2 bounces before you have to hit the ball, and there are some other rules that I don't usually I haven't really paid much attention to. For me, it's more getting outside, getting active, and, you know, doing something other than, you know, sitting on the couch and watching Netflix.
So how common is it in your experience to find natural spaces that are accessible?
You have to look. Sometimes it's a little tricky to find them, but you know, online, if you're looking at a particular outdoor space, there may be some information about accessibility. You know, oftentimes if I'm going somewhere, I might phone ahead and find out about accessibility. So you have to kind of go looking for it. But you know, for me, it's worth the look.
Specifically, when it comes to getting out into nature, what's the benefit there, and the tie-in to heart health?
Well, you know, it's good. It's good for your mental health, which is, you know, good for your, you know, overall well-being. You know, the heart health, I find if I'm looking at something that I want, you know, cardio heart health, if you're talking about that, then the bike, or, you know, an arm ogometer that I have at home, I would use to kind of get my heart rate going. The gears are here. It goes up to 7 gears, and then the chain, which is, you know, a chain like on Tory's bike, is up here, and you're going backwards with these to brake, and then there's kind of a parking brake that you can put on when you're getting on and off. And I like this one. There's a lot of bikes that are lower to the ground, more for racing, but I like this one suits me. It's more of a recreational one because it's an easier transfer. So my regular wheelchair is about the same height, so it's not a big transfer for me. And yeah, that's about it. The bike I got through a company, like a mobility company in Toronto, but the bike I think is made in the U.S. So it was shipped up from the U.S. and my husband and my kids gave it to me one year for Mother's Day. So it was kind of a fun thing that we could do as a family, and so that's kind of how we all got on the bikes and out on the trails.
Nice. So where are we going today?
So we're going to do a little bit of a trail at Sunset Point. There are a ton of trails in Collingwood. Most of them are former rail trails, so they're nice and flat, which is nice. This bike has 7 gears on it, but it's nice to have something that's flat. So there's lots of places to go in Collingwood that are suitable for this bike. But today we're going to go along Sunset Point and look at the trail here, which is a great location right by the water.
Yeah, that's for sure. And number 2?
And number 2, we're going to go to the Arboretum in Collingwood, which is a beautiful space with a boardwalk. And boardwalks are always good for wheelchair users. Obviously very flat and kind of gets you out into boggy areas that you wouldn't normally be able to get out to. Lots of swans and ducks and geese out there that we'll see. And then we're going to go and check out a pickleball court and try pickleball.
Awesome. Even me.
Even you.
Complete newbie.
Yeah.
It can't be that bad.
Yeah.
So have you always been devoted or committed to physical activity, or has that changed over time?
I've always been a fan of physical activity. It's always been something that when I was younger, did lots of different sports and whatnot, and things changed after having a spinal cord injury and looking for different things that I could get involved with. But there's still lots of sports and activities that you can do. It takes a little bit more work to get it organized, but for me it's worth it.
Yeah. So for somebody who might not have tried something new or adjusted after an injury or a change in their mobility, how would you recommend going about it?
Well, I get, talking to peers, getting introduced to a particular sport through someone that that you might, meet on your own or through the peer sport program at SCI, and that's kind of the best way, I think, just getting an introduction to it. There are some different clubs that are associated with, sailing for people with disabilities and, kayaking and those kinds of things. So you can, find those places and contact them to go out and try something. But I would say just, once you find out about something that interests you, give it a try and see how it goes. Lots of winter sports as well, like cross country, sit skiing, downhill sit skiing. That's something that I've enjoyed over the years. And
what about the cost? How do you, what have you noticed over the years with the availability of free, accessible recreation opportunities versus things that require some investment?
Yeah. Well, it really varies. Like, something like pickleball, the cost is negligible. It's, buying the rackets and then, finding a community tennis court like what we're going to go to today. Something like doing the biking, a bike like this is in the, around $5,000. So, it is an investment, but then you're going on trails and whatnot, there's no cost after that.
Okay, thanks. I'm looking forward to it.
Okay.
That was such a fun day, checking out 3 accessible, fun recreation activities in the Collingwood area. And if you are looking for what's accessible and outside near you, you can reach out to us online. Rematch? Yes.